No, we are live. You had 2 minutes 2 minutes ago. Somebody's over getting herself something to drink. While we're all waiting her. While we're waiting, let's see who is in the chat. Hey, it's Tuesday night. Glad you guys are here. Starlove is first. Howdy, Grumpy and Yoda.
Hi.
RN.
Oh, girl, I'm sorry. I forgot to text you. It's dark. Let me turn that light on.
Good
I'll
point.
turn that light on. Oil pump.
My crooked little homestead, Terminator from up north, Eagle Lover, Texas, from a cold and blustery Texas. Yeah, it's all relative. Who else? Hippocrates Gardens in here. Skane showed up from frozen Louisiana. You know, they act like it's cold. It's just because they're not used to it.
Yes, speaking of cold, hang on. I'm going to get up one more time.
Spag showed up. Can Squatch, the Rickster. She got to go get a blanket.
Yeah.
Hope everybody's doing well.
Hey, Spags, I think we're speaking at Prepper Expo in Colorado. So, thanks for the lead, man.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, so everybody from Texas and the deep south is like, it's cold. Okay, let's see what.
You know what? Being in California for a lot of my life, in Southern California and San Diego, where most of the time we were walking around in shorts and bathing suits and all of that, I can see where they're cold. I've been cold.
So Lucy says it's been snowing here for 7 days. We have gotten 2 feet, and now with this storm, we're supposed to get in between 60 and 100 centimeters of snow tonight. Schools have been closed since last week. Lots of snow.
Us too. I mean, we're not getting the amount of snow that you were getting, but yeah, we've been closed.
I've worked 2 days out of the last week.
No, one day. You only worked on Thursday.
Did I only work on Thursday?
You only worked on Thursday.
Yeah, I didn't even really work there, but yeah, I did. I worked.
He didn't have to go work for a paycheck.
You know what though? In all seriousness, guys, we give you grief, you guys down south, for being weak when it comes to the snow and the cold. It is all relative, man. You guys, it is a huge thing for you. We're used to the cold around here. We're just complaining because we can complain.
Well, right? Actually, the cold here, I would say over the last week, we've had some learning curves. And so Homestead is always a learning curve, right? But we've had some learning curves. So we know we've got one pipeline that we need to take care of and make sure that that's better insulated. We also know that we've got some holes back in part of the house that we haven't got done yet that unfortunately has some food storage in it. And we know we've got to get that shut up. We also learned a good lesson on basically just getting the homestead winterized for animals, especially.
Well, so, this. It's not that we don't know; it's just the ability to get it done. We didn't get it done before this happened. We've been working on it. It's getting better and better and better.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll have a lot of it shut in by next year. Thank God we haven't lost electricity yet because the generator is not in. We thought we'd have that in this fall. It did not happen.
No, it didn't happen.
So
it's going to happen this spring.
And then, so it's just been a learning curve, and we see what we need. Even all the way down to the blankets. So we hadn't had the furnace on. Like there's so much. So even let's start with the wood burning stove. So the wood burning stove, we heat with wood, do all of that. So that was going on. And I was just like, I can't figure out why I can't get the house warm. What the heck is going on? Am I, I was playing with the flu and all that stuff, trying to figure out what was going on. And for some reason.
Well, we knew we couldn't keep the house because it's so drafty in here.
And so we were like, I was trying to figure out other solutions. And G was on, you were just on YouTube,
Yeah,
right?
I was just watching YouTube videos.
And God sent this video in, and it was efficiency of a wood-burning stove. Well, we've had this hole in our wall with a pipe sticking through it. When we moved in, it was stuffed full of stuff to kind of block it. And we couldn't figure out what that was. It was an air vent.
It was a cold air intake.
So it pulls the air from the outside so that it's not pulling air from all of the windows and outlets and doors and all that. So we should have that. The roads have been bad. We haven't been able to really get out. Tomorrow, I need to go pick up 6 gallons of milk, raw milk. So I'll go pick that up, and then I'll probably stop by and look at that pipe and
We've got 3-inch fluid.
Oh, we have it?
We've got 3-inch fluid.
Okay,
yeah.
so we just need to get it done.
Yeah, it's just been too cold to go out and grab.
Yeah. So, well, especially today, you were butchering a cow. So
well, you're just done. You're just like rapid firing everything. You got to tell a story.
I mean, the whole week.
You got to tell. You got to learn how to tell a story.
Well, you go ahead.
Especially if we're going to. Never mind. We'll talk about that later.
Go ahead.
No, but the cold air intake, and I there's so if you look on the back of your stove, chances are there's a big 6-inch air intake, and that's so that the stove will draw air, and you move the dampers down on the bottom. That'll open and close that vent or that intake. And the video, the guy was talking about installing a cold air intake in his house that he was building, and he drilled a hole in the floor. And I'm watching this, and it was like a little light bulb went off, and I was like, "That's what that is." Apparently, either they had a pellet stove in here with a 3-inch flue, which I don't think so, because they had a 6-inch flue when we moved in, and there's a 6-inch flue on the other end. So this vent literally just goes outside and is an open hole, and it's sucking air in. But whenever that was blocked up, it was pulling air through all the where the outlets are. It was pulling through the windows. It was pulling through the doors.
There was no safe, warm corner in the house.
Right. You could literally feel whenever I would open up the door to the stove, you could literally feel the cold air rushing through the living room.
Yeah.
So there's something to think about if you're having trouble heating your house. Think about investing in a cold air intake. Mm-hmm. So that was the first one. Mm-hmm. Second one was we've lost half of the rooster chicks because of the cold. We've lost 32 chicks so far, and 2 adult chickens. The rooster with the wry neck didn't survive the cold.
He survived dry neck and couldn't survive the cold.
Couldn't survive the cold. Well, and you know, he had brain damage, I think, seriously. So that's the thing. And then like an idiot, most of them I buried instead of salvaging what meat I could off it. I got about 6 of them. After it dawned on me, I was throwing away perfectly good meat, and I just skinned them out and took the legs and fed the legs to Fancy. So Fancy was on a raw meat diet for a little while.
They're on a raw meat diet now.
And they're on a raw meat diet now. So
350 pounds of raw meat.
Yeah. So we had the milk lady. They had a bowl that went down when it was freezing rain outside. It got slippery. Hey, Hillbilly Homestead. So this bowl went down and his back leg splayed out, and they could not get him stood up in the middle of that rain and cold, and he literally.
She tried to. She got with the community. We were like, okay, what equipment? What do we need to do? And didn't hear from her.
Even before that, he was a goner before she reached out to everybody. I can tell you that. Right.
Oh, really?
Because he lived this 1,100-pound cow froze to the ground. His back legs were frozen to the ground, and whenever the cows splay like that, it jacks up their hips, it tears muscles and stuff. So she reached out to everybody and said, "Hey, come salvage this if you want." And we had to wait 2 whole days. So today was the first day that we could get to it.
And it'll probably take through Saturday, right? To finish everything. You got everything cut up and in coolers, but to process and get the frozen skin off and all that,
oh yeah,
it'll be Saturday.
So Hacks for the Homesteader and I went over there, and when I say we butchered it, I mean we butchered it. This was not a good butchering job.
Not a professional, not for people meat.
We could it was 2 degrees when we started. It got up to 12, and then it started dropping back down. So it sat outside for 2 days in sub-zero weather, and so everything but its core was frozen solid. B, It was so cold, couldn't get the tractor started, so we literally had to attach a tow strap to it and drag it out of the pen. Because we couldn't get the tractor started and we didn't have an A-frame, we couldn't hoist it up in the air. And even if we could, I'm not sure it would have done any good because it was frozen. Its limbs were frozen solid. And so we had to do it on the ground, and we were in a hurry. It was cold. My gloves were sopping wet. So we ended up with somewhere between 200 and 400 pounds. I really can't tell you because I'm not good at telling the weights like that.
Well, what you handed me to put in the bowl for the dogs tonight, that was a good 6-7 pounds.
Well, it was at least 5 pounds. And we're splitting it up. I've got most of it here. Some of it went home with Hacks, but they're gonna come down and we're gonna split it out. We've got to figure out a way. It's supposed to be sub-zero tomorrow, and it's supposed to warm up after that a little bit. We have to figure out.
I think is when we get out of.
We have to figure out how to thaw out these limbs so that we can get the skin off it, so we can process it properly. Actually, we're using the greenhouse, and if you haven't been watching our channel recently, go check out the greenhouse video because even when it was 2 degrees out here today, it was 40 degrees in the greenhouse when I got home.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that's with the panel that popped from the weight of the snow.
We had a panel that popped. It just, the weight on it caused it to slide out of the groove.
Shifted.
Yeah, it shifted. So we ended up spending the afternoon doing that. But this is a good selling point for a community. Seriously, we got the call out. Kind of surprised more people did not jump on it. Because dog food's dog food. I don't know if anybody's priced it recently, but it's expensive. But it all worked out really good. We need roughly 5 pounds a day for a raw food diet for the dogs because it's 2%. It's 2% of their body weight for raw food. All right, and you really don't need to supplement it, but you can. We were talking other ways to make that meat go further. So sweet potatoes and rice and throwing some peas or something in there, some sort of greens, so they get those vitamins. You don't want to go too heavy on it because it does. The greens will mess up their tummies. We learned that the hard way. But if you put too much in there, but you do want to throw a little bit of greens in there, and so it's a great way to keep them healthy. And B, you don't have to clean up as much poop. I don't know if you guys. No, seriously.
You kind of whispered that.
Well, because it's kind of gross. It's kind of gross, and it's not really a fun topic, But you get that dog food with all the filler in it, and the dogs just leave massive dumps, and it's a pain, and it's stinky. But whenever on the raw meat diet, if you can get raw meat, we got people in our community growing rabbits for dog food. We're gonna try to bring rabbits onto the property.
After we get the hogs in.
No, rabbits are going to be easier to do than the hogs. Canine night swell, HG says.
You said that we were going to.
You know what? We play it by ear.
Spring.
We're going to try to put the hogs in by this spring. And I did learn something else while we were over there. So we were talking last week about maybe getting a cow. I was going to put in field fencing and corner posts and all kinds of craziness. I'm not going to do that for the cow. The milk lady, they've got their cows on a single hot wire, and they just move them around like that. So
Well, Beautiful is a different story. So Beautiful will run that line. Did Tracy tell you that?
No.
Yeah. So Beautiful will do it, and it's really funny because I'll go pulling in. It's usually on my milk day, and so I'll go to pick up my milk and I go through the driveway, and Beautiful will meet me right at the driveway. So I have to take the truck and run her back up to get back in.
Skane says, I'm adding extra protein to help keep my dogs warm. Yes, and that's the thing with all the animals.
Corn's really good too.
Our feed is running out in half the amount of time it normally does because we're having to feed them more. It's so cold. And they were really suffering because I didn't do that the first couple of days, and I was like, I got to start doing it. So we're feeding them more, and I got to get another bale of hay.
And we have another snowstorm coming in Thursday and a Friday. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I don't know if you're ever getting back to work.
I got to go tomorrow. Nothing's closed.
How do you
tomorrow.
know? Are you sure? I haven't checked.
Nothing's closed tomorrow. I was checking.
Oh.
You know, so that's if you guys, hey, in the chat, if you guys have any more ideas, I mean, Skane's feeding them more protein. If anybody else has any more ideas on feeding the animals in the wintertime, I actually did a video that I got to get put up for you guys about how we take care of the animals and try to keep them warm in this kind of weather. Hey, Rabbit. Let's see here. Oh, I missed it. My dog is 13. He won't sleep in the house or barn. He even has an insulated doghouse. Prefers to sleep in the snow. Yeah.
Dogs do that. We have those dogs.
Well, Fancy
likes her doghouse.
Fancy likes laying in the straw. She likes. In fact, she likes it so much that Dolly stuck her nose in there without asking permission from Fancy, and she got taken to town. And it was so bad, I had to bring her inside, and she went and crawled on Mama's lap and pouted. That's how bad it was.
Freya's also gotten in trouble.
Scratch is more warming for the. Yes, Scratch is absolutely more.
Yeah.
See, and we feed our chickens.
Protein.
We feed our chickens the same feed we feed the
goats and sheep.
Goats and sheep, because it's a 22% and it's got everything they like. They don't.
It's a 20%.
They're 20%. I'm sorry, but they'll eat everything except for the compressed pellets. And then when we're throwing that out as Scratch in the yard, when the goats get out, they'll eat that up.
Yeah, and
Hey,
then
Indiana,
to supplement when I see some stuff, so if I go to Farm at Home or whatever, like this time they had a bunch of bags of Flock Party on sale. They were on clearance, so I just bought every bag that they had.
Oh, I've heard cows like to scratch up against field fence, which yes, I had that discussion with neighbor Chris, and he said, okay, so he's a professional fence puller. He's been doing it for decades, and he said that if you stretch it tight enough, that you can make it so even if they lean on it, they won't destroy it. You know, the goats won't lean on it, and the cows won't pull the posts out of the ground. But I'm seeing that single strand hot wire, and dead simple, heck of a lot cheaper, way cheaper.
And she even has one that goes out to the driveway. So if it's hooked up, so I always know if one of the cows are out grazing, she'll have that shut, and it's just on that little yellow thing. And I know to just take that off the gate, and I can set it to the side, and then get the truck in and do all that. Super easy.
Right.
Super, super easy.
Right. And then we're putting electricity out in the outbuilding, so I'll be able to run. I won't have to worry on a solar charger, because the solar chargers work really well, but they don't last as long as the plug-in type. But
we've had issues with sun too this year, so that hasn't helped.
So that's going to be a plus. Let's see here. What type of fence depends on the cow, and if it's halter broken, hot wire broke or not yet.
Well, I don't think these are. I don't know if they're halter broke or not, but no, these are fine and they do great. Beautiful's just spoiled, and so she was the #1 milker. Plus, she had some issues this year, and which Tracy did a great job fixing her and getting everything together. I got pictures on that, but they're so disgusting. I don't know if
Indiana Mike brings up a great point. Grounding is everything when it comes to electric fencing. You know the problem we had this year? It was so dry that the ground on the portable electric fences would not go down deep enough, and it would not ground properly.
And then it would rain, and then
so it would work sometimes, and it wouldn't work sometimes. In fact, I was talking with Billy Bond, and they were having that problem in North Carolina. And he said he had to get like 6-foot grounding rods, and he just drove them in periodically where he runs his chicken tractor and everything, so that he could ground. Every time you moved it, he could ground it right there at that post instead of having to worry about it.
That's an idea.
Yeah. So I mean, we're learning all kinds of stuff. Even.
And this is it. This is homesteading. It's learning, and so you have to go through those trials and tribulations in order to figure out what you got to change. Yeah. So.
Okay, my dog is a mix of mutt and Pomeranian, lab border collie. I can't spell the other.
Good.
Oh my gosh!
Lord,
Talk
this
about a
kind of
mongrel.
funny looking dog.
Oh my gosh! Betty's loyal.
Send me a picture of that.
Tip: drive your grounding rods in at an angle if you have rocky soil like me. Yeah, absolutely.
Ours is more like river bottom, so
Hey,
that's part of the problem. So everything just kind of falls over when it gets wet.
One thing we've been extremely lucky with the cold weather. So the back bathroom froze. We were talking about that earlier, and I know why it froze, and I know how to fix it. I'm not going to be able to fix it till this spring. Though.
It's got to thaw out,
and we got to run some electricity for it. Has not broken. Knock on wood.
It's PEX. So
nothing.
Good job.
Hey, quiet. Dolly, hush. But nothing has broken. We have had people in our community, more than one, that have had broken lines and had to deal with that, which in this type of weather sucks because I had to do it about 3 years ago. Another thing we've dealt with, the furnace has been turned on one day so far this winter. And that's because I think the controller board on it is going out and it won't start after that one time. The fan will come on and it'll run constantly, and then the igniters won't work. And it's not a manual pilot light igniter. It's a electronic igniters. So it's all run off the motherboard, and I had it open looking at it, and the status light was not functioning properly, so that tells me it's not getting proper. The electrical is not flowing through it properly.
So when we go out this year, so what we have to do this spring then is we have to make sure we bring another community member in that knows heating and AC, and then
we need an HVAC guy.
We need an HVAC guy.
You hear that, Tag? Be on the lookout for HVAC.
We need an HVAC guy. And then all of you need to start ordering more products because we got to save the money for a new HVAC system.
Well, we don't need an entire new system. We just need
that AC is like broken.
Yep.
No, that AC doesn't work. It needs to be replaced.
No, the AC works great. The problem, okay, she says the AC doesn't work. The AC works great. The problem is the vent. Oh my gosh, like everything else in this house, the venting in this house is either non-existent or done completely wrong.
Oh, well, if you're just talking about that, the vents and what is that? The box that goes to every single vent. Mm-hmm. If you're just talking about that, Gypsy does that.
Oh, really?
He used to. He used to do it. Yeah. So he knows how to do it. So, but we need a full-on HVAC guy.
Yeah. Let's see here. Skange is hanging. It's already becoming a bumpy ride. You know what? It's Tech says it's training. It's character building. It's all that stuff. One thing I've learned, and I knew this before, I just never put it into action, is we have no control over a lot of things that happen to us. The only thing we've got complete control over is the way we react to them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
as somebody in here, Mr. Tag, as he would say, you can either let that bad problem ruin your whole day, or you just fix it and move on. Yeah. And have a great day.
You know what? Those games, you've got community here. You've got a virtual community here. You can
my story. You can call me anytime. I've been through it worse than probably what you're going through, but I've been through it. You know that, so at least you're not in the courtroom.
Yeah. Hopefully not. Okay. The weather's definitely a good test run for the wood stove this year. The furnace never came on one time since Saturday. 83 degrees inside is the average temp. Oh, ouch. Ours is sitting.
I'd be opening the door at that point.
Ours is sitting at. We're keeping it about 66.
It's been 66, between 68. It's like having the AC on. Yeah. I usually don't put the AC on, and when I do set it, when we lived in Pleasant Hill, it would be at 72 because that's about what I could tolerate. So.
Character building indeed, but I know I can hold my head up high I did the right thing the best of my ability. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, you know, the picked a really rough year to decide to go minimalist with everything around here. You know, not turning the AC on, trying to make it through the winter without breaking out the electric trough heaters and
130 degrees all the way down to negative 30 degrees. I mean, it's just, but we made it through. We're alive. You know, so we're here figuring out how to drive on ice with no problem.
Scanes, you got a way to escape for a little bit if you wanna get away from it all.
Oh, HG taking her in.
Where is it? Timbers, I've used a lot of wood the last 5 days. Yeah, we are going through
a lot. But once we get that intake done, that should slow that down. We won't be using so much wood.
Look at Tag. Tag's throwing out all kinds of stoicism stuff.
Stoic
ideas. The opinion of yourself is far more important than the opinion of your others. You know, but
unless you're a narcissist, that could be a problem.
Yeah, that could be a big problem. We've been doing good on the wood. We have, yeah. And believe it or not, the wood consumption has actually gone down since I figured out the cold air intake.
Once we figured out why we have a hole in our wall.
Guys, I feel like a complete doofus. How long have we been doing wood stoves?
Years.
A good almost over 10 years now.
Even all clear back to 2004, we did the fireplace.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to have a cold air intake.
Okay, so 10 years, 8, somewhere in there.
So yeah, I feel like a complete doofus that I did not know that. I knew it was an event of some sort. I thought it was for a pellet stove, and then it dawned on me exactly what it was.
I just have never seen another, because the house in Pleasant Hill didn't have that. But then Dad said because that stove that we got from him, it didn't need that. It did it itself. So, or something along those lines. I can't remember. I don't know. My dad's full of knowledge, but you have to pick his brain in order to get the answer. He doesn't just share. So.
Oh, look who showed up. Where is it? I just saw him right there. Okay, this young man. This young man. Not only did he win something from us, but less than a week later, he's posting a video that he won something else from another YouTube channel. So if you guys need any lotto tickets, contact KY Goatman.
He can't buy them. He's not old enough.
I bet he could.
No, he's not old enough.
Let's see what else we got. They're doing a bunch of
Joan Jett. Joseph G doesn't know who Joan Jett is. What is wrong with you? I don't even know where that came from, but I don't know why. He made a
comment that was a lot, sounded like a line out of a Joan Jett song.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, he hates himself. What if you hate yourself for loving you?
Oh. Yeah. So it's been a lot of learning around here this week.
Well,
and then we were hoping we were going to get more done. So the back of the house, we've worked on a little bit. We were hoping that we'd have a lot of that done, and I would be trying to figure out how to dodge snow to go get drywall. And it's so cold back there.
Yeah,
it's impossible. It hurts.
Can't even put a heater in there to bring the temperature up in the room.
He tried. You tried.
I tried.
So anyway, and the grandbabies were supposed to come this weekend. They're very upset.
We told them.
Our granddaughter is sad, but it's just too dangerous. And they've got the babies in the car, and with the back roads and all that. My son's a police officer, but he's on pavement, and when he's driving and doing all of that, now they got the 2 kids. It was so slick and slippery that it would have been one of those things if they wouldn't have ditched. We wouldn't have had the traction to be able to pull them out of that ditch. And God only knows if we'd have been able to get to them.
So after this last snowstorm, I'm not even going to try to get the skid loader going because it's going to take forever. It's more problems than it's worth trying to get it loaded.
Is Chris going to be able to get the Bobcat going?
I don't know. I got to talk to him.
You may have to put it on the truck.
But I had to, as I was going over to the milk lady's house, I had to drive by a couple of people in the community's driveways, And so I was feeling guilty because I didn't scrape all the snow off the driveway. You know, I went by their places. Theirs wasn't done after the last snowstorm either. So I wasn't feeling too terribly bad about me not doing it.
And it was funny because did you see that one little couple that is always in their side by side, and they were coming by and they went really, really slow to look and see what we've done with our driveway, and we did nothing.
Yeah.
So, just is what it is.
The roads were very poor.
Yeah.
It took me. Usually, it takes about 10 minutes to get from here to the blacktop, roughly.
And lately, it's been 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, and
so
it
just
was
low and slow, 4-wheel drive. Try to do. And hey, I want to give a shout out to Wilson Tires. So if you guys are in the Northeast Kansas area, man, he totally did me a solid. So he went and got feed, and when he got feed last week, he ran over a nail or something.
I picked up a screw in the tire.
A screw in the tire.
I thought I told him about this last week.
I don't know, but anyway, I didn't say anything because I just went and got the tire on Friday, and so basically it went in there and I was like, hey, you got our tire and that kind of thing, and Terry came in and he was like, yep, tire's ready to go, blah blah blah, and I said, did you get the bid for the new tire and all of that? And he's like, well, I didn't know what size. I'm like, Terry, it's the same size tire that we brought into you. And so we got that worked out. And I was like, can you do me one more favor? And he's like, what's that? And he said, it's snowing again. It's really slick on the back roads. Could you put put the tire back on and remove the spare? He didn't even charge me for that. And he was like, yeah, he's no problem. And they had it done lickety split.
There's a sad story there. Wow. So Skanes and Tamber are conspiring, and they're going to drink homemade wine and do bad stuff.
I want to join.
I lost 2 bottles of homemade wine because it got so cold back in the pantry in the backside of the house. So I had to pull the wine in.
The colloidal silver, I'm gonna have to go back and do another batch. Not a big deal. It was just some bottles, but she brings me the boxes of them, and he says, "We got a problem." And I looked at them, and like literally, they had froze so bad that it pushed up the glass eyedropper portion that's in there through the plastic. And then last night I kept hearing pop
in here.
Pop, yes. And I was like, what in the world? And today, as I was cleaning up floors and all of that, I realized that we had bottles just popping and breaking. Yeah. So those are not going to be safe.
Tamber says make a trip down to Texas.
Okay.
No, KY won
that when it's not cold.
KY won that back in December.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Chuck in December, and he just posted it. Okay.
Chuck, you need to give a class on cold weather first aid.
Yeah, I ran B. I saw she was complaining her knuckles and all of that are starting to feel. So I ran her some comfrey salve over, and hopefully she's using that, and that's making her feel better. A lot of times, especially when you're working outside and doing all of that, the cold weather, it just starts to crack your skin and your nails and all of that. So I've just been keeping the comfrey on my fingertips and my knuckles and all of that. And so I ran her over some. So hopefully that works for her.
Lucy making me feel bad now.
Why?
Because she's shoveling by hand. I'm complaining because I can't get the skid loader working. That is why you are the Terminator, Lucy.
Yes.
You will always.
Lucy probably has also not had 2 heart attacks.
We've got the Kansas Terminator, but you will always be the Terminator. So you know what? There's no sense. I've done it before, haven't I? I've shoveled it by hand.
You cannot go out there and shovel. If you go out and shovel, I'm telling you right now, you really can't. And because if you go out there and shovel, then 1, you're gonna have 3 times a week going to the chiropractor, and 2, you can hardly breathe in this weather already, and you've had 2 heart attacks. And so no, you're not going to shovel. I can walk in that snow. That is not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not really not that bad. And she's right. It got to that point here where it's hard to breathe. If you don't have anything covering your mouth, it is hard to breathe because it hurts so bad. That's how bad it is. And I've said it other places. You might want to take a glasses on.
No, sorry, I was reading
You
comments.
look like you had big old Google eyes.
Doesn't bother anybody but you. It's just crazy.
But I was telling somebody the other day that cold it gets so cold around here that the temperature starts to not matter.
Yeah.
It gets to the point where it's dangerous, and then it's just cold. And the 10, 15 degrees lower than that does not make a huge bit of difference. Seriously.
Oh, Rabbit, I can't shovel. There's no way. I'm so broken right now.
You won't shovel. Even when you weren't broken, you wouldn't shovel.
Because I don't care. I can walk in the snow. This is not a big deal. I really think people shovel.
No.
This comes back from the suburbs. People shovel because they have this idea that everything needs to look uniform and all that crap, right? Keeping up with the Joneses, all this has to be done. If you have the proper vehicle, I drive a 4x4 Chevy Silverado Duramax Allison, and so I don't need it shoveled, and it's gravel. It's a gravel driveway. Why? It just doesn't matter. So this is not a me thing.
Well, I've got a 2-wheel drive vehicle, so that's why. So
just take the truck back and forth and flatten it out, and then you can get out. What's the difference between that and the road? Right? Totally doable.
KY Goatman is going to learn how to tan leather.
Nice. That's what we're trying to figure out. You've done it.
I've done it. Darren took what little part of the cowhide that was
I was
good.
gonna ask you. I was really hoping it. That's why I asked you if it was frozen, because I was really hoping I could replace my rug in the living room, but it's all stuck together. It wouldn't have been a good piece.
So Spag's doing it because he's a good son-in-law.
Doing what?
He shovels because he's a good son-in-law.
Well, come over and shovel.
You are his elder.
Come on. I mean, I don't need it. Apparently, only G needs it. So.
Now let's see what else we got in here. You know, and in all honesty, it hasn't been that bad.
It hasn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, the kitchen was a little cold, and so I was trying to figure that out so that I could get dishes and all that stuff done. I just cooked. You guys got 2 videos coming. They're short, but I cooked.
Yep.
And so got that in there, heated all that up. And I'll continue to do some more.
You need to do a video then, KY. You need to share that knowledge on how to do it and make them all supple.
Have your parents drive you out to Missouri and charge for a class, or Missouri to Kansas and charge for a class. Then you could just give the class, and then you share all of your knowledge, and you make a little bit of money. So we would totally be able, if we had that back bedroom done, we could totally put them up here. Have the class out here. I can cater it. What would a tanning class be?
I don't know.
What, $60 a piece? $100?
No.
I think it's a great idea. But you'd have to pay for the food.
Spags is going to come up and do it, so you don't have to press your life pendant button, so you don't hurt your hip.
That old man.
Speaking of Spags and hurting people.
Oh gosh.
People getting hurt. We have an emergency live tomorrow night. If you guys haven't seen it, Spags and I are going to go on. I did that taxation video, and it kind of blew up way bigger than I thought it would, and it got to the point where I could not answer all the comments.
You
properly.
could. You just didn't want to.
I could.
There's like almost 100 comments in there.
I could.
It's ridiculous.
But I was looking at some of these, and I'm like, I need to get Spags on here, and we need to talk about.
We had sovereign citizens come out of the woodwork.
Some of these comments. So we're doing an emergency live tomorrow night, and we're
all of those questions.
And we're going to, well, not all of them, but just the pertinent ones, the ones that I have a feeling are going to upset the most people.
The sovereign citizens, man, there was just something about that. And then there were other people that just anti-government. It was suggested to us that we hire some attorney for $1,000 and do all the paperwork and file it and all of that crap. If I'm hiring an attorney, I'm not doing all that. So, been there, done that, not doing it.
Well, and this is this is part of this video.
Plus the fact that you should have all of your information and know that we're not old enough to qualify to do that.
Part of the reason why I want to do this video is because, number one, a lot of people missed the purpose of the video. They missed the entire point, and it zoomed right past their head. And number two, it's goes back to what I talk about when I say we need a vision that's better than the next guys, better than the people that we're going up against. We need to give them a vision that's better, that's easily understandable and easily implementable. And that's part of the conversation that a lot of people just don't understand. It is the way it is. It goes back to that isn't that odd video, the freedom and liberty video. You know,
which is interesting because that didn't have all those weird people coming out.
It's always been this way, and this is the way it should work. And so we're going to discuss it. That's part of the discussion tomorrow.
Kind of what I've been fighting the commissioners board on. Just because it's been this way and this is the way it is does not mean that that's the legal way. That is not how you do it. That's not how it's written. As soon as you open your mouth, they get mad.
Well,
make sure you save this chat. I'm going to go back. It looks like KY needs some supplies for tanning. And we could probably take care of that and ship it to him.
Okay.
I mean, don't get outrageous, KY. But if it's just a chemical or something like that, I'd be happy to help you out.
They're talking about that whole tanning thing. I can do it with rabbit hide. Rabbit hides are pretty easy to do. I started doing it with deer and I started doing it with sheep, and that's of course I wasn't using the right equipment. Having the right equipment, and Darren and I were talking about that, and we're gonna make scrapers and everything and do it right. He wants to learn how to do it, so he's gonna do it. And I told him if he makes some scrapers, he needs to get me, I'll pay for some, and all that too.
That's the hardest part is just scraping everything. He did some sheep when we butchered some sheep. He pulled the skin and we did that. It used to be that's how we would take them to the butcher. We would go ahead and skin them and then make sure we had the hide and they weren't selling it. And then
I would dress them out and take all the girdle fat and the hide off of them.
Because I use the lard, so I render everything, and I actually use that in a lot of my medicine.
Right.
And so, so you've done some stuff, but the sheepskin did not come out super soft. I mean, it did its thing. It didn't rot.
I know how to do it. I know how to get it past the point it is now.
Oh, okay. So we can still work with it?
Yeah, I can still work with it.
And then the rabbit, my dad did super simple. He did rabbit skin. I remember this from when we lived on the desert. And he did one, and he kind of, oh gosh, Dad, you'll have to call me and remind me. But if I remember correctly, he did some kind of like wood frame and then tied it up in different sections and then did whatever treatment. I wasn't in on that. But I remember it sitting for a few days.
So KY, get some rabbit hide. Seriously, they are way more simple than everything else because it's really,
good way to learn.
It's really easy to get them nice and supple.
Then you can make rabbit hat. He used to bring me the rabbit skin. Like, can you make me a pair of gloves? Can you make me a hat? I need this. I need that.
I wanted rabbit skin underwear. Like caveman, Conan the Barbarian shorts. You know what I'm talking about?
That would be funny.
Yeah, so it's a we were talking about that today while we were working. We're out there. It got up to 12 degrees. It started falling, and I looked at Darren and Jay, and I was like, man, could you imagine being out here in fur, skin clothing, with a sharpened stone, and doing this in this type of weather? And that's what people used to do. I mean, back in the day.
Okay, so Spag said something. You're going to have to go up about sovereign citizens, and now Rick S., who I've never seen in here before. So thank you and welcome.
Who? Where?
Rick S. He said, "What
that's the Rickster?
Is that Rickster?
Yeah.
Oh, he changed his little thing. What's this sovereign citizen stuff? So, But Spag said something and I didn't catch it.
They are. Well, he just said that the sovereign citizen movement sucks.
Oh yeah.
They are a. Just go look them up on YouTube. They are a very unique breed of people.
And it's really interesting. And I'm not saying that it's all sovereign citizen people that claim, but my son usually arrests most people, and the ones he arrests, the first thing they say is, "I'm a sovereign citizen," and their vehicle's full of crack or a meth lab or some kind of crap like that. So,
well, okay. Here's my take on it. This will probably come up tomorrow night too. So here's my take on that, and it goes. Believe it or not, it goes hand in hand with the Second Amendment. People come up with these ideas, and it thinks it makes them bulletproof, and they think it makes them bulletproof.
Well, you said it thinks it makes it bulletproof, and so you were starting to sound like you were coming out of Hannibal.
It makes them think that they're bulletproof and that it will protect them against anything that they disagree with, and that is not the case. No. You know, you can be right as rain on your Second Amendment rights, but if you get in a situation where you get in a gunfight with the police, chances are you're going to die. I mean, seriously. Same with the sovereign citizen. You could be as convicted about it as you want to be, and you can be thinking you're as right as you want to be, but if you go up against people, law enforcement specifically, and you color outside the lines, you will pay the price. Mm-hmm. And no amount of screaming on a YouTube video will fix that problem. You know, you're gonna have to deal with the repercussions. Okay.
That's what I was just.
AG, there were two SCs that killed a couple of West Memphis, Arkansas cops a few years ago. I remember that. There are good and bad people in all groups, and the worst make the rest look bad. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep, for sure.
Absolutely. And I've known some sovereign citizen people that were not, but they were not the type that make it into the news. You know. That's a taxation thing. I'm not going to talk about it till tomorrow. Did you? So we did not say happy birthday to Rickster. His birthday was on the 11th.
And then Tambra turned 64.
Did Tambra turn 64?
Yeah. Which I can't believe she does not look.
Happy 64. Birthday! Ooh, on that special day.
Speaking of special days.
Okay.
Did you guys see the caucus results yesterday? This is going to be an interesting year. I'm telling you. Trump won.
I'm tired. I am tired of interesting. I don't want interesting anymore.
It's coming. You're not going to be able to stop it. It's coming. Because now everybody was projecting that if Trump took Iowa, he would definitely take Vermont. I think Vermont's where they're going. Next. Is it New Hampshire? New Hampshire and then Vermont. And so it'll be very, very interesting to see how this goes, because those are
all these January babies in here. A lot of January babies.
We all know what their mamas and daddies were doing in the summer. Taking advantage.
Let's see here. You know what, guys? My magical senses tell me that there may be a Spags Unfiltered video about this sometime in the near future, because he will not comment. He will not comment this much and like this unless it's on his mind. SC take liberty to an extreme violent edge. They see every issue as a nail, and they notoriously bait the field in a way to draw the authority just to argue and then get stupid. So you guys may have just witnessed the birth of a video on our live chat.
Okay.
We shall see. We shall see.
Jonathan, some of you may know him as Maytag, sent a video to you in the men's Bible study group, or did he just email that?
No, it's in the men's Bible study.
Okay, so in the men's Bible study group, Aaron turned it on, and I was watching it with him, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to it. It's very, very interesting. It started with the Big Bang Theory and all that.
Dr. Frank Turek, and it's I don't have enough faith to be an atheist is the name of it.
Yeah.
And it's on YouTube. You can find it. It's very easy to find.
Yeah.
And it's about an hour and a half long, and
really super good.
it's part apologetics and part doctrinal, or going over doctrine.
It really reminded us of just kind of a laid back version of the world, and so, but with more education and that kind of thing behind it as well, because he's talking about scientists and all that. And so it was very, very interesting to see what he was saying. And I told Garen, I said, he's like, what did you think? And I said, I don't know how the man sleeps. And Garen was like, what do you mean? And I said, he's literally sitting there arguing with himself. That took a lot of thought. And that took many sleepless nights because he was going back and forth with himself. You could just see it.
Well, it's not that. It's he argues the other side.
Yeah.
As he's arguing his side, he argues the other person's side. He plays devil's advocate. It's a very good video. In fact, I probably ought to put a link to it in the community page. In fact, I may do that. We'll see. We'll see if I can remember it. What else we got going on this week? So we are finalizing. Looks like there's a very good chance anybody that lives on the Front Range in Colorado
might get to see some family.
Kiowa, Colorado has a prepper thing. It's a 1 day deal, isn't it, or is it 2 days?
I think usually it's 2 days, but I'm only getting like the day that we need to be set up and all of that.
I think it's a 1 day thing.
They're still working things out. So.
But Spags Unfiltered and Data, went there last year and came back very positive reviews. Said it was nice. It was their first one last year, and
no, Spags used to organize that. He was in charge. I thought.
Not
are you
that
sure
one.
about that?
That was the one in Topeka.
Huh? Because he had an in, and that's how we're getting in there.
Yeah, because they went last year.
Okay.
They took the vendor tent down there last year.
Spags, I'm giving you more credit.
But so it looks like we're gonna have a vendor tent there, and we may be speaking there, and that's the week after SRF. So SRF is the
6th and 7th.
6th and 7th, and then
Kiowa is 13th.
The 13th. So, and it's nice because it's only about a 6-hour drive at the most.
7 is what it says.
7.
In Kiowa. But my family comes and visits. That would be great, and we won't be too. That's not too far from Estes, is it? And your sister now is in Colorado Springs, so.
No, it's probably a 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive for them.
Well, that would be all right.
It's south of Denver.
We could still meet for breakfast or something in Denver or whatever, so we can still do that.
But so yeah, if you live on the Front Range, look for us there. And then we're working on what looks like we're speaking at Self Reliance Festival this year too. This spring, I should say, and we're gonna have the vendor tent and the food tent going.
We'll be doing food,
and then the rest of we're not going to be doing as many festivals as we did last year, but still doing more than the 6 I wanted to do.
I wouldn't say that we won't be doing as many. I would say we're going to be more selective with what we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, because we just took on a new festival that we've never been to. So, and then there's something else going on. I've got to get with Tag, get that information because I need to find out what weekend that is in April. I think he was getting our vendor tent down in Texas.
I'm not doing 3 in April. I'm sorry, it ain't gonna happen.
I don't think we have 3 in April.
We got Self Reliance in Kiowa.
Self Reliance is in Kiowa in March.
In March or April? I don't know.
I don't remember. We'll have to look and see, but anyway. So yeah, but KSL is in March. Yeah, so those are in April.
Texas is a long drive.
Well, it doesn't matter. That was the big 5,000 people coming in. That kind of thing.
Yeah, our intern 64 this year too.
Oh my goodness.
Man, all you Capricorns are coming out of the woodwork. We're not sure, Eagle Lover. because somebody set it up top side. So, hey, remember live chat. Get out of the top chat if you're up there in top chat.
Yeah. That way you won't miss anything. That's interesting that Capricorns would follow an Aries and a Libra. That's interesting that an Aries and a Libra would actually get married, but
Who's that?
you're an Aries, I'm a Libra.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a Leo.
Are you Leo?
Not that I put
Are
a lot.
You sure? July 20. I mean, I don't know my astronomy like that.
So. No, I don't know. I don't know when I was born. I don't.
July 29.
Was it? Yeah, that's a Leo.
Oh, is it?
Oh man, see what I got to deal with, guys.
I'm just saying it's a good thing I'm well balanced.
Aaron's mind is 18, and the body feels much. You know what? Ick. No, I don't want to. I don't want my mind to be like it was when I was 18. No.
Oh, yeah.
No. That would be terrible.
Bad.
Grateful Hearts Ranch might be a long drive to Texas, but it's totally worth it. Why? I can go to Springfield and get Buc-ee's. What else is there in Texas I need to see?
I think it's for it was one of the conferences that Tech's speaking at. So that's what it was. That's why it was a big deal.
Still want to, I said it last week, I still want to go down and hog hunt. We'll see how that goes. It costs money. Plus, somebody made a comment earlier when you said it too. 2024 looks like it's shaping up to be a very exciting year. Unfortunately, I mean we've got on the world stage.
Cola versus me and Timbra.
No.
That's the reason to go to Texas.
You know what? You're not.
You won't. I don't think you're gonna want tickets to this event because those tickets are, if I remember correctly, I don't know if Tag's still in here. It was like $1,000 a ticket, $700, maybe $700 a ticket.
No, you know what? I never did the whole cowboy cheerleaders thing and America's team. I never bought it. Never bought it. Of course, I've been a Kansas City fan my entire.
The one good thing about Texas are the vendor malls where you can go in and purchase wholesale. Those were really good. I enjoyed that.
You have a lot of followers in Texas. But yes, we do, and we do.
Yeah.
We do appreciate all our Texas followers, and if you're new here, thank you for showing up. We got a lot of new
subscribers.
New subscribers out of the last couple of 3 weeks. If you're stumbling on this,
we had 100 just in the last 48 hours.
Think about that. Think about hitting that subscribe button. If you would, come join us. We do these lives once a week, and we talk about our journey on a life done free. It's been very
eventful,
and it's we're finding out that the only how do I put this? Our story is very unique, but it's very unique because it's ours. And there are a ton of people out there that have the same story that is just as unique as theirs. The difference is they're not quite sure what to do with it. That's one thing we're finding out.
Tambra, then you're going to have to look out your couch roaster.
You don't want her drinking dark liquid. No, that's a bad.
They have light room.
You know. But I mean, you guys understand what I mean? There's a lot of people. We're finding out there's a lot of people out there that are taking the same road that we took, and it's causing changes.
And because it's causing changes, it's causing some frustration and some anger, and we've been through that already. And so, there's several times that we've looked at each other and like we're just done. I mean, even to the point like maybe possibly a divorce, and we're just done. The thing is, you have to cool down. You have to take a deep breath. You have to come back and you have to figure out why are you done? What needs to be fixed? And so then you kind of figure that out. But you also know just because you're laying the plan doesn't mean that's the plan.
No.
And so you have to be, in some sort, you have to be flexible. The problem is we came from a slavery system. And so, military, everything had structure. Sales, everything had structure. There was, a time and a place for everything. And Here on a homestead, it's not.
KY, if Survivalist Prepper wants to do a live with you, you should do it.
Mm-hmm.
Dale is a really good guy.
Oh, yeah.
And him and Lisa are fantastic people.
Well, I would have met. Is Lisa going to do it, or probably Brian? Probably Brian.
I don't know. It's probably just going to be Dale.
I would do it. You need to do it.
Yeah.
And in fact, I wouldn't mind interviewing him, but I wasn't sure if your parents were going to allow you to do it, because I also have some suggestions for you, thinking maybe you need to start a newsletter of all of your updates and things that you're doing every month, and that you could send them out quarterly, whatever, but start sending out those newsletters and letting people know, because I'm telling you right now, we know several kids that are in the homesteading community that could really use a lot of encouragement, and you do that. You and RNL.
Well, and yeah, and that's the thing. So one of the things over the past 3 or 4 years at Midwest Preparedness Festival that we've tried to do is we've tried to get the teenage people more involved. Mm-hmm. Because the average age on our channel of viewers, or the biggest demographic, I should say, are that 45 to 65 demographic, and we are aging out of the sphere very quickly, and so we need to get more people involved, and people like KY and Ty at RNL Homestead, they're the future, and us older homesteaders and preppers, we need to be encouraging these kids. We need to be, and yes, teenagers are kids. I don't care what anybody says. In fact, 30-year-olds are kids to me now, and nothing's going to change it. So we need to get these kids involved, and we need to encourage them and share our knowledge with them. We don't want to teach them. We want to share our knowledge with them and let them decide what their path is going to be, because if we don't do that, the movement's going to die. You know.
And I'm kind of excited too, because my cousin's son and daughter, they do this. They're just now starting to get their YouTube together, and so we're seeing that as soon as they
are homesteading.
Yeah, they are homesteading. And so as soon as they get going, and so Aria, she's about the same age as Arnell and KY. And so how fun would it be to have...
She's a little bit younger than they are.
No, she's 14 now. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And so it would be fun, just because you have one in Colorado, one in Kentucky, one in Tennessee. It would be really fun to see how everybody does it with different climates, different environments, and all of that. And even have you guys all do a collaboration together. You can just challenge each other. So how do you work with cattle in the Rocky Mountains? It's freaking hard, but they do it. And, you know, how do you work with chickens and all of that stuff? We have a video on that we actually interviewed my cousin and her husband. And you have to lock it up for bears. You have to worry about the bears. It's an issue. So,
you know what, KY, Survivalist Prepper, I started listening to them in
years ago.
Oh my gosh, we used to, before we were still living on a suburban lot, and I started listening to him and Brian. It's been a long time, and they're good. They're good.
We're supposed to do a video with him and Lisa.
Yeah.
So we
and
haven't got that scheduled.
I'm working on getting them on a WRL panel.
Yeah.
Too. I'm working on getting him.
They'll probably do it.
Him and Brian and somebody else on there. So we're actually getting a lot of responses back. People I've reached out to, some really good. Don't say any names.
I won't.
Don't say any names. But we've got some really good people lined up with some really good panels. Now I'm not gonna lie. They got it. Patrick and Spags and Riverside Will. Those guys set the bar pretty darn high on the very first one. They set it pretty high, and if the rest of these people beat that bar and raise the bar every time, we're gonna have a really good thing going with this WRL live live streams that we're doing, and they will be very enjoyable, and they will. It's one of the things I liked about that last one is a lot of the answers were very insightful and very well thought out. In fact, I was really impressed with Will, Riverside Will. He did a fantastic job.
Well, and not everybody had the same answer.
Right.
So that was nice too. So
Right.
everybody had a different opinion on how they would do stuff, which is great. So that's interesting. I don't know. So Wes is having a hard time for some reason making comments. So he must be saying either some inappropriate or dirty stuff.
No, how's he having?
No, he set it up there. I'm just giving you a hard time, Wes. I'm sure.
I'm having a hard time keeping up, Wes. It probably just zipped right past.
He can see that his comments are not being sent in.
Oh.
So they're scanning. Well, he can. I'm sorry. He can see that they're not posting.
Oh, okay.
But what did he say there?
Beekeepers have to hotwire.
Yeah, for the bears.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so that's what my cousins are doing up there, and it'll just be interesting to get the kids together. I think a kid collaboration would be fun. Just kind of see how everybody does it different. Seriously, you got 3 different climates there.
It just got cold in here.
Do you want me to go put a log on?
No.
I'll go put a log on. I'll do it. That's right.
She wants to get up and stretch. But yeah, I'm sitting here, and I just felt it get cold across. Check the back, the door to the hallway too. Yeah, this is our life now. It gets cold, and you're like, ooh, why is it so cold? Yeah, they do that in Utah too. The hot wire the things. Let's see here. Missed. Okay. Okay, I get it. So what else is going on? You guys got anything you guys want to talk about? Anything special? I did not do any. I did not find any articles per se. I've been reading the news and stuff. The one article, since we're past the update part, the one article that I found very interesting and concerning at the same time. So, the job creation in the United States. So, after the COVID lockdown stopped, naturally job creation went up, and it really wasn't job creation. It was people restarting their jobs. They just did the numbers like a couple of weeks ago, and the job growth, the private sector job growth is quickly being replaced by governmental job growth. And the reason why, in case you can't figure out why that's important, is because the government does not produce anything of value, monetary value. Let's put it that, monetary value. Unless you're a congressman or a senator or a politician or a lobbyist or something, then government creates a lot of monetary value. But for regular people, no, it doesn't do that. And the reason why I found that important and concerning is because I just did that taxation video, and the that's the way they pay all these people, and it concerns me that the government is outpacing private sector, because that's a sign of an ever increasing size of government, and we're already working within the confines of a fascist government. If you look at the key points in the fascism political planks, we already live under fascism. It's not the same type of fascism that we've seen in the past, but it is fascism.
Yeah, Robert, we do have a sawmill close to us, and we also have a portable sawmill in the community. What's going on? What's the sawmill for?
I don't know.
And then he's done streaming on YouTube, Rumble. And
oh yeah, okay. Well, I had heard that. I had not seen that video yet. I gotta
go watch it.
Yeah. Well, I can understand why. I know a little bit. I can understand why. And there's a lot of people doing it. A lot of people are.
Dan Bongino even.
Yeah, a lot of people. Well, he's still streaming on Rumble.
He is on Rumble, yeah.
Because he's an investor.
Right.
He's got a vested interest in that succeeding. But yeah, if you do too many lives, it does hurt the algorithm. So,
But we like our lives. We don't care.
yeah, we like talking with you guys and
Yeah.
you know get some good topics. We've got like I said the emergency taxation live, and then on the 25th I think it is. Hang on, I'll tell you exactly when.
27th?
No, I don't know.
Oh, no, you're right. The 25th. The one with Tag?
Yeah, on the 25th, Thursday the 25th, we've got Tag is gracious enough to come on and we're going to talk about that third plank in modern homesteading, which is building community. You know, and that goes hand in hand with the other two, and I think it's going to be a really good conversation because as time has gone on, that whole message and the whole what does our community look like here has solidified, and it's a very, very interesting conversation. So if you guys put that on your calendar, it's a Thursday. RN is going to bed.
Night, RN.
Needs her beauty sleep. Sleep safe. Be safe down there in that cold weather.
How long have we been on?
We've been on for an hour and
11
minutes. You guys are probably not going to go an hour and a half tonight because I am tired.
He's tired. They had to deal with a 1,100-pound.
When that thing was all in one piece, it was heavy.
Oh, it's 1,100 pounds.
Yeah, it was extremely heavy. And rolling that thing around was tiring.
Oh, you guys didn't take the tallow, did you? Did you take the tallow?
There wasn't any.
No tallow. It's a Jersey cow.
No, the girdle fat was not. It was non-existent.
You're kidding me.
It really wasn't that fat.
Weird.
But so yeah, we're probably going to call it quits. And what else? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Let's see. Well, you know what? We'll continue saying prayer for our Wes, and don't
Definitely say prayers for Wes because his trailer is sitting in our front area and it is flipping cold here, and we don't have keys to get inside of the camper to insulate anything and make sure that everything is still running. So he left a little space heater in there, but in order to plow, we had to unplug, and I don't know if that came on automatically or not. So definitely pray for him. There may be some.
turn on flashlight too.
Oh yeah. So what did he say?
He found those two dead coyotes he was talking about earlier, and he forgot about them. It scared the snot out of him.
Jeez. And then so one of the things, if you guys go back and you want to also go in depth on living off grid and the homesteading life when temperatures are this cold, go over to Living Free in Tennessee. Tag did an interview with them today, and with John Willis and Nicole Sauce and Tag, and they just kind of did a rundown on like what that looks like with the wood burning stove, the solar, the different ways to install the solar. What problems do you still have when you have all of that going on? So
it's been a rough week on solar too, because we did not get a lot of sun.
Almost zero sun. So yeah, because I was even thinking, oh, I should do some videos on the sun oven, and like that went out the door. So yeah, so just go over there, check that out. Over I don't know. Well, Tag was somewhere else, so I don't think he streamed it on his channel. So yeah, definitely go to Living Free in Tennessee. Look and see that interview, and they kind of go into depth on some things and what to, what not to.
I'm so tired. I got to go to work. I have to go to work tomorrow because I need to get a break. I need some rest. Seriously, I'm drooping right now, guys. Seriously.
All right, we may have to cut this short because if he's drooping now, he's definitely going to be drooping tomorrow, and then if he's in a bad mood tomorrow, then I have to deal with it, and I don't want to. So, especially with the live tomorrow night.
Yep.
So, oh no, probably didn't get turned back on. Shoot, oh well. everything is fixable.
Rabbit coyotes.
Dude, we should have just totally thought that through. And, you know, 'cause seriously, if you don't trust us with a key, then probably shouldn't have your trailer on property. So we just should have thought that through a little bit better. But anyway, so yeah, Tracy was worried about it. She brought it to thought. And then I went, oh, because we had to plow. He had to unplug. And I was worried about that. So, oh well. There's probably enough materials and stuff we can do. You probably need, I don't know if you have PVC or PEX in there. Probably need to switch that out anyway. Why are you looking at me like that?
Sounds like you're volunteering me for
I ain't
something.
volunteering for nothing. He
No,
left it here.
Sounded like you were volunteering me. You were looking at me while you were talking like that.
I wasn't, not even.
She's good at volunteering me for
I
stuff.
wasn't. Are you volunteering yourself? I'd be careful where you're stepping right now because I wasn't volunteering you.
I'm not volunteering.
What I was saying is, luckily, there's materials laying around in the community. Possibly, he could get it done pretty cheap.
We'll get it taken care of.
So,
all right. Unless you guys have anything you want to talk about, any questions, any announcements, anything cool that's going on in your lives, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up because Dolly's coming up. You want to come? Come here, Dolly. Come here. Dolly wants to say hi to everybody. Say hi.
she doesn't. She just wants to be in your lap.
Say hi. This is what.
Oh, that was the other thing too, Rabbit, that they were talking about was the solar systems and all that are going on, and I'm so glad now because remember prices were going up and all of that, and we were waiting on our connectors and the inverter and all of that. Now everything's like half the price.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, everything is going down, and so that being said, after festivals at the end of the year, we should be able to have all of our solar up. So that would be nice. But yeah, so all right, guys. Well, we're gonna save him so that he can go to bed, and I don't have to deal with a grumpy bear tomorrow. And what do you got to say? Anything?
Cool. Nope. Just you know what? Go out tomorrow and live a life done free.
Be 1% better, at least 1% better than what you were today. All right, guys.
Let's see here. One last comment.
One more?
Something going on cool in my life is Texas is cold. You guys down in Texas take care. We're
worried about you guys, and we're praying because we figure you guys should lose electricity.
Well, they were talking yesterday about rolling blackouts in Texas.
So crazy.
Because it's so well. The peak. Everybody's got their heaters turned on.
Well, of course it's cold. Shit, freaking.
And they go on working on getting everything done. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey CM, you guys have a good night. Still haven't got the package. Probably going to be a little bit delayed because of the weather.
ACM? What package? Oh, that. Oh yeah. No, we haven't seen that yet, which is weird. So, and then, did you get out of your driveway? Do you still need milk? I'm going to pick up 6 gallons of milk tomorrow. It's raw milk, so I can bring you a gallon if you need it.
Throw it up in the thread.
What?
You know, text if you need it.
Oh yeah. Let me know. Just text me and let me know, and I'll just plan on when I go up into town. I'll just plan on grabbing it because I got the 4-wheel drive. I should be able to get into. Yeah. You
guys, in all seriousness, go out there, be safe in this weather. It's dangerous out there, and we want to see you back here next week. All right. You guys take care.
You guys. Bye.